I know what you're thinking. How did we get here? I can explain. Okay. I know y'all can't see it, but way down in there is a Gen 4 knock sensor, and that's very key to this story. So let's go back to the end of the last video. I was waiting on adapters to come in for the fuel injectors. They came in, worked beautifully, got all that hooked up. As I'm going through, I knew that I needed to order a new oil pressure sensor for the back of the block, and that was going to be kind of hard to get to, so I was going to replace that when I lifted the cab up. Well, then I remembered that when they pulled this motor out, they broke the map sensor clean off, so I have to get in there with some pliers to pull that out to replace the map sensor. I was aware of these things. I was going to try to do that when I lifted the cab up about 4 inches. I did all that, lifted the cab up, had it on like 4x4s, access to everything. Pulled the old wire harness out, super simple. Everything went as smoothly as Current Performance said it would. Because I was nervous about it, so I called them. Well, then it came time to hook up my knock sensors. Well, LS2 out of a GTO has Gen 4 knock sensors. Now I have these set right here because you can see I have a certain kind of computer that doesn't like Gen 4 knock sensors. I didn't know this. This is my first time to ever do a project like this. And I need Gen 3 knock sensors. Well, I don't have the provisions in the Valley pan where Gen 3 knock sensors go on this motor the way it came to me. So I call Current Performance. I'm like, hey, did y'all send me the wrong connectors for the knock sensors? Because these don't match up to mine. And he's like, no, they're for Gen 3s. I was like, well, I have an LS2 and that has Gen 4 knock sensors. I'm like, okay, you need to swap them. It's gonna, like, you'd have to have the best programmer on the face of the planet to make Gen 4 knock sensors work with your computer and this wiring harness and everything that I have going on that's built specifically to me in this application. He's like, you really need to go back to Futrail and ask him. So I did, and immediately he's like, no, you got to have Gen 3 knock sensors. He 100% was in agreement and on the same page as Current Performance. And I was like, well, that sucks. I gotta pull this motor out. Because as I showed you in the video before, you can't get access, like a straight path, into where this knock sensor's at because of the upper A-arm and the frame. So I was like, well, I already got the cab lifted up 4 inches. I'll just lift the motor up. Wrong. Well, now I gotta pull the motor. Well, if I'm gonna pull the motor again, why don't I just unbolt the bed, take the bed off, take the cab off, you know, take the fenders, front radiator, everything off. Just remove the entire body. And then I'll just take this whole thing out as a unit, set it off to the side. Then I can just pressure wash the entire frame, maybe put some rust inhibitor all over it, maybe prime it. Who knows what's gonna happen now? Because I'm up to here in this. I've fully committed. The body has been removed, and it wasn't no feat. It required me to build some extra stuff, and I'll show you that here in a second. Because I think I did all right for not knowing about any of this and what I'm doing here. But hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna pull the motor out. I had to call my uncle because I done gave him the cherry picker back and the motor stand, all that. So he brought me the cherry picker back. I'm gonna use it to pull the motor out. Like I said, hopefully tomorrow. And I ordered a drill and tap, but they ain't here yet. Then I'll be waiting on that. As soon as I get the drill and tap, I'm gonna go watch the same YouTube video I've probably watched 10 times, maybe another 10 more times before I drill and tap into the block. Wish me luck, but let's go look at this little setup I made to pull the bed and the cab off easy. I had this little spreader thing that I made when I originally removed the bed. So when I was at Harbor Freight getting the chain fall, I got this load spreader because this board bowed so bad last time picking this thing up with a cherry picker. Now, I didn't have the cherry picker at that time. I took the bed and the cab off. So I just made this little stand here with all my milled lumber so I could hang the chain fall up, obviously, to pull the cab and the bed off. And now that I got the cab and the bed off, I can get access to the back here. I have started doing a little bit of body work, trying to hit some of them rough spots. I had some pretty good dents in the roof over there that I got bondoed in and filled up. The hole where the CB antenna, where this thing was the bug truck, I fixed it, plugged it, my little brother welded it for me, bondoed that over. Got the roof looks way better. It had some serious craters over there, y'all. I don't know what they put up there or dropped on it, but it was pretty bad. I got it fixed. I've been bondoing and stuff on the fenders as well, filling in these little dents. Man, as you can tell, it looked like it had hail damage only on the two fenders. And I guess that, you know, I mean, it was a town truck. So maybe just over the years of doing maintenance on it, they just beat these two fenders up. Other one was just as bad, but I got both of them bonded up, filled in. I never even primed it, so it's got surface rust all over it. But if you thought it looked bad before, the truck looks real bad now.